All right, so we were talking about wudu, and we were talking about the integrals of wudu. We said there's 6 integrals of wudu according to Shafii. Other schools would have more or less integrals. And we said first integral is the intention, the niyyah. We said that according to Shafii, the niyyah always has to be at the beginning or with the commencement of the deed, except when? Tell me, please. Mm-hmm. Yes. It must always be at the commencement of the deed, except which case? Fasting. Because you start fasting when? At dawn. But when you have to make the intention from sunset until dawn, not including dawn even. You have to make your intention before dawn and then start fasting at dawn. So that's the exception. And for a Shafi'i, yes, does not apply to fasting, meaning fasting is the exception to the rule. The rule is the niyyah has to be with the exact commencement of the deed. So for prayer, then that's when, tell me, for prayer, when is the intention? Yes, that's the very first thing in the prayer, the takbir. So the intention falls there. And for ghusl, when the water touches your body. For wudu, when the water touches your face. For zakat, when you separate your zakat money from the rest of your money or from your other money. That's when you're going to have in your heart your niyyah. And for any good deed you do, you need the niyyah when you're doing the deed. Except for fasting. That's the exception to this rule. Because you're going to make the intention before you start fasting. And then it's going to be valid. That's clear? So we spoke about the intention for the wudu. Its place is the heart, and its time is when you start washing your face or when you're washing your face. Then we talked about washing the face. And we talked about the facial hairs. But we didn't talk about something that's actually should be mentioned before the facial hairs. Maybe I was too eager to talk about the facial hairs. Which is, what are the limits of the face? From the normal hairline to the chin and from the ear to the ear. From the normal hairline to the chin and from the ear to the ear. And what is the chin? Can you tell me the definition of the chin? Not exactly. The chin, the definition of the chin, it's the fusion of the jawbones. That's where the two jawbones come together. That's your chin. So the limits of the face from the normal hairline to the chin and from the ear to the ear, not including the ears. The ears themselves are part of the head. Yes. Yes. Okay, so that's the limits of the face. And we talked about the facial hairs. And do you remember how many facial hairs did we count? Just a number. No. Mm-hmm. Okay. So there's 17 by counting like this. Uh, 2 eyebrows. So here means the strip. The whole strip is one strip is one, and the other strip is the other. 4 rows of eyelids. So that's four. 2 plus 4 is 6. Mm-hmm. Yes. 2 strips over the eyes. Those are eyebrows. Four. Uh, 4 lines of eyelashes. One for each eyelid. 1 line for each eyelid. 1 mustache. So 1 strip over your upper lip. 2 strips that come down from the edge of the mustache towards the chin. How many is that so far? Okay. And a tuft of hair under your lower lip. Yes, under the lower lip. A tuft of hair on the chin. Two strips that line your jawbones. Yes. Two tufts of hair, one on each cheek. That should be 15. 15. Okay. And do you know what the last two are? No. Sideburns, not the jawbone. So it is the sideburns. Yes. Sideburns are from the temple to the jawbone. To the jaw. Yeah, jawbone. Next to the ears. So those are 17 facial hairs. Out of those 17, three of them you're allowed to not wash through them if they are thick. Which are which three? Mm-hmm. No. The jawbone hair. Yes. So you got two strips. Yeah, basically from your jaw down to your chin. And then you have actually the hair of the chin. So that's three. Yes. Yes. That's different from the cheek. Agatha. So if the chin hair and the jawbone hair are thick, then you don't have to wash through them. Anything else, you have to wash through it, even if it's thick. Although there's a detail I'm not going to go into with you right now, but I just want to say something so you don't take a misunderstanding. So what I just said to you is correct, but there's still a detail after it. I'm going to repeat. There's 17 facial hairs. Supposing you had all 17, then it's obligatory on you to wash through all of them, even if they're thick, except the chin hair and the jaw hair, if they are thick. That's clear. But yes, supposing you had all 17 types of facial hair, you would be obligated to wash through all of that hair down to the skin, uh, except, you would be obligated to wash through all of that hair down to the skin, even if it's thick, except the chin hair and the jawbone hair. If the chin hair and the jawbone hair are thick, then it's enough just to wash over them. Everything else, so mustache, cheek hair, sideburns, you have to get through it down to the skin. Eyebrows, that's correct. Thick is when you cannot see the skin through the hair at a normal conversation distance. Uh, so all that's clear. Yes. Okay. There's detail though, because sometimes the person goes very hairy. Like, imagine you saw what's that movie with Tom Hanks when he's stranded on the island, Castaway, and this is just all his facial hair grows out of control. So your hair might get like that. Then then also something else will be excused, which is going to be your sideburns. What is that right there? What that is right there? What that is right there? What made the sideburns get included then? Yeah, in what you don't have to wash through. Two things. One, it was thick. Now, normally, if you have thick sideburns, you have to wash through them, even if they're thick. Only thing you don't have to wash through when it's thick is your chin hair and your jawbone hair. But sideburns and everything else, you have to wash through it if it's thick. But if you add to it being thick, also being outside of the face, like away, it's thick and it's beyond the actual contour of the face itself, like the guy in the movie. All his hair is grown. He can't even cut it. Then also the sideburns. You can just wash over them. Is that clear? Uh-huh. And 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 it's thick. Both of them. sideburns grew beyond the contours of the face and is thick, then also you can wash over your sideburns. But if it's just thick, you have to wash through the sideburns. But for the chin hair and the jawbone hair, it only needs to be thick. If it's thick, which means you can't see the skin through it at normal conversation distance, then you can just wash over it. Even if it's not outside the contours of the face. That case right there, I didn't understand it for when I first learned it. Confused me. Play you. So we're finished with the face. Any question? 6. Mm-hmm. Yes. The third is to wash the hands up to and including the elbows. The other ones are the integrals. So the integrals are the actual elements of whatever we're talking about. We're talking about wudu now, um, so the actual elements of the wudu are the integrals. If you think about it like a house, for example, what are the actual elements of the house? Going to be, for example, 4 walls and a roof. Bring your 4 walls, bring your roof, and your house is valid, let's say. So, like that, wudu or anything else, the integrals of something are the actual pieces that make it up. So the wudu is intention, washing the face, washing the arms, wiping the head, washing the feet, keeping the order. Yes. Sure. Mm-hmm. Just say wiping the head. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Correct. Yeah. And just for more clarity, when we say about the chin hair and the jawbone hair that is exempt, what we mean is washing the inside. You still have to wash the outside of it. And washing is not wiping. So washing means to make the water run over it. Wiping is just to take something wet and then take a wet hand and pass it over a surface. So it's not to wipe that there, but to wash it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, washing is to make the water run over it. Yes. Yeah. Even if the water moves by you pushing it, that's still valid. Wiping is to pass something wet over a surface. For you. So the third integral is to wash the hands up to and including the elbows. That's clear. If you didn't have any elbows, then you need to wash up to where your elbows would be. If you didn't have a hand, for example, or part of your forearm was missing, you need to wash whatever's there up to the elbow. So if you had something missing from the elbow, like no elbow, nothing there, just a shoulder, for example, or something, part of your bicep, you don't have to wash that then. It's not obligatory, but you could wash it. Yes, and any hair that's there, you have to wash it. Some scholars said the dirt under the nails is excused. Yes, and if you had 2 elbows, you have to wash both of them. Just like if you had 2 faces, you have to wash both of them. And anything that's on there, like any scabs you have or anything like that, extra fingers, etc. Then the fourth integral is to wipe the head. So wipe the head. So now we know what wiping means and what washing means. And washing doesn't require soap. Washing requires water. To wipe the head, Allah says, "Wamsahu biru'usikum." Wipe your heads. Wipe upon your heads. Now, how much do you have to wipe? According to Shafii, if you wipe even a part of a hair on your head, then you did what the ayah told you to do. If you have hair on your head, you can wipe your hair. If you don't have hair on your head, then just wipe your head. And wiping the whole head is best. And the head is from the normal hairline back to the occiput. 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 That's that little, yeah, that nudge there. That's at the back of your head where your neck starts. From the normal hairline to the occiput. 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 Unless it has another pronunciation. I think it's occiput. So your neck starts from there, from the occiput down.
So that's like the back of your skull in the back.
Yes. So you can wipe anything in that boundary. That's your head. It doesn't have to be with your hand. If you took a wet rag and wiped your head with a wet rag, that's valid. And then the fifth integral is to wash your feet, including the ankles. Each foot has 2 ankles. Or to wipe your khufs. We won't talk about khufs today. We can talk about khufs next time, inshallah. When you get down to this fifth integral, to wash the feet, sometimes the scholars say to wash the feet or to wipe the khufs, because you might be wearing khufs. Then you don't have to wash your feet. Even if you are wearing khufs, you're allowed to take them off and wash your feet. So you have the option there. Washing the feet is an option if you have the conditions of wiping your khuf. Otherwise, it's obligatory. And same rules like we said about the arms. So if you had an extra toe or a scab or something like that, you have to wash it. Subhanallah. And then, yes?
You must get, you have to get in between your toes.
Yes. And then the sixth integral is keeping the order. I told you last time there's a hadith about keeping the order. That the Prophet ﷺ said, Ibda'u bima bada Allahu bih. Start with whatever Allah started. So, what's in the ayah of wudu? فَاغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. Wash your faces. وَأَيْدِيَكُمْ إِلَى الْمَرَافِقِ. And your hands or your arms up to the elbows. وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ. Wipe your heads. وَأَرْجُلِكُمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبَيْنِ. And wash your feet up to the ankles. Then you need to keep the order. And also, there's another indication that you have to keep the order. The other indication that you have to keep the order is that how many things are mentioned in this ayah for wudu? 4 things. We said there's 6, so the ayah only mentions 4. The ayah says, wash your faces, wash your arms to the elbows, wipe your heads, wash your feet to the ankles. We said there's 6 because we counted intention and keeping the order. Now we talk about keeping the order. I gave you a hadith for that, and I'm telling you there's another indication for the order also, which is that out of these 4 things that are in the ayah, the first one is something you have to wash. And the second one is something you have to wash. The third one is something you have to wipe. And the fourth one is something you have to wash. So there's 2 types of things here. One type is washed and one type is wiped. And the way the Arabic language is that the one that's different from the others should not be mixed in them. The one that's different from the others should not be mixed in the middle of them, unless there's a reason for it to be there. So there must be a reason for it to be there, right in that spot. Then that's an indication that we have to keep the order. If you wash anything out of place, then whatever you washed out of place is not valid. You just have to go back to wherever you missed its proper spot and start from there. You don't have to start over. And Allah knows best, so we should stop there. Next time, inshallah, we'll talk about the khufs.
You said if you missed a spot, you start from what you missed?
Yes.
Okay, mashallah. Thank you, Sheikh.
You're welcome. Barakallahu feek. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك